All the good work of you've done so far, which has been centered around sports. So I'm curious, what was it, growing up, what was it about sports that drew you in to you and make as part of your career and part of how you are changing the world?
I grew up listening to sports on the radio, listening to Mike Shannon commentating for the St. Louis Cardinals, and listening to Brian Barnhart commentating for the Fighting Illini, and Don Fisher commentating for the Indiana Hoosiers. And those were three broadcasters that got me interested in sports, and it brought pictures of the action happening on the court and the field to me and created pictures that I could see in my mind's eye.
It's incredible. And speaking, before we even go any further, I guess we should kind of go back. Your story is incredible just because your life wasn't even supposed to happen. Can you just tell the audience what it was like even just, just to be born, to fight through that, to even just get to where you are today, 20 years old?
I was born 4 months premature with an eye condition called retinopathy of prematurity. And the doctors did not think that I would live because I was born so early. And due to maybe too much light or too much oxygen, the doctors really are not sure. When I was in the hospital, it caused the retinas in my eyes to detach, which caused me to be blind.
You broadcasted games for Evansville. You've done baseball games for the New Britain Bees. You broadcast over 140 games. So what's that experience like? And honestly, how do you do it? Obviously, how are you able to commentate on the action, what's going on, without being able to see it?
I listen to the play-by-play broadcaster who I'm working with, and I study his or her style because they are the true star of the radio broadcast or the internet broadcast that I might be working on. I study facts on the players and the coaches. I go down and speak with each team's coach before the game and some of the players. I also make sure there's a good crowd microphone so I can hear the sound of the ball bouncing off the rim or swishing through the net, or if it's baseball or softball, hear that ball hitting the catcher's glove or hitting the dirt so I can call a pitch if I'm telling a story or sharing some trend about what is occurring in the game.
In the sports industry, and really, this can really expand to almost any industry now with jobs being so competitive. It's all about really who you know and getting your foot in the door, right? That's really the hardest part, is getting your foot in the door, showing people that you deserve a chance. And from there, once you get the foot in the door, you can show people what I actually can do. How hard is it for you to get that first initial step in the door?
It was really hard for me, and no one really helped me with it. I set it all up myself by emailing and calling pro sports teams and college sports teams, becoming friends with the owners of teams and people such as that. And it's still even hard now to get more consulting work as I try to get more sports teams to let me be their consultant, because leagues such as the MLB and NBA, I'm good friends with Rob Manfred, the Major League Baseball commissioner, and Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner. They're both friends of mine. I can't convince them to set league-wide standards for what their teams have to do for people of all disabilities. So when I try to convince another team to hire me to help them, or the importance of hiring individuals of all disabilities for a job with these teams, it's really hard for me to do that because there aren't standards of what teams have to do at a cohesive level. So it ranges from team to team.
You had a great impact and a great role with the Baltimore Orioles, who you're currently employed with, as they were the first team to have actually Braille on their uniforms. The Orioles was in Braille. The names on the back of the jerseys was in Braille. What was it like to be part of that experience, to help be the first MLB team to have Braille and bring kind of blind awareness as a night, let's say, for Major League Baseball?
That event happened in September 2018 when the Orioles were hosting the Toronto Blue Jays at Camden Yards. So we had 150 fans at that game who were either visually impaired or blind, and I put all of the food menus into Braille by the food stands where these individuals were sitting so they could read what there was to eat or drink, because nothing is more frustrating than having someone read food menus to you. I ensured that the ushers properly knew how to guide individuals who are blind, and also that the guide dogs that people might be bringing had places to use the bathroom. And I visited with the fans who were at the game throughout the game, and it was really a great night just to show that there's things beyond sports that can impact and change so many people's lives, and the importance of people who are blind learning how to read Braille. I've known how to read Braille since I was 5, but sometimes whenever someone becomes blind or visually impaired partway through their life, they feel nervous about reading Braille because they think people are going to judge them. So events and programs such as that can show people from any group that it's important to learn the necessary skills to become a part of the world once again.
You just highlighted in that answer, the frustration of going to a game as someone who's blind, the frustration of maybe the ushers aren't trained or don't know how to help. How lack of preparedness, I should say, are these stadiums to cater to the blind community?
I don't just do programs for people who are blind, by the way. I do things for people of all disabilities. I work with teams on putting in closed captioning boards or ensuring that their wheelchair platforms are at a proper level so that fans can see if someone stands up in front of them, and a whole myriad of other things, because it wouldn't be fair to segment myself to just do programs for individuals who are blind. But I don't normally go to a lot of even pro or college games because there is an 8 to 10 second time lapse on the radio, and it can be really frustrating sitting through a game when you hear the crowd cheering and you don't know what happened till 8 to 10 seconds later. Thankfully, Baltimore does not have that at their home games there at Camden Yards, so I really enjoy going there. But I don't go to many professional or college games just for that single reason personally, unless I have to be there or someone needs me to be there, then I will go, of course. But if given the choice, I'd rather sit home and listen.
We're talking with Bryce Weiler, co-founder of the Beautiful Lives Project. So Bryce, I want to get into that. How did you come about that charity? And like you said, it's not just for blind folks. It's anyone with disabilities that want to participate in the sports industry, in the sports world, play sports, have sports a part of their life. How did you come about co-founding this charity?
I contacted the owner of the New Britain Bees, Anthony Icavone, and Anthony gave me the opportunity to be the co-founder of the Beautiful Lives Project and to also commentate New Britain Bees games on the radio. But with the Beautiful Lives Project, we have sports programs where people of all disabilities can play on the court or the field with sports teams across the country, such as baseball teams, basketball teams, soccer teams, football, softball teams. And this could be at the high school level, the college level, or the professional level. But we do more than just sports programs. We do programs where individuals of all disabilities can experience music. They can experience ballet. They can perform with a cheerleading team, perform with a dance team, a whole plethora of programs across the country. We're always looking for more chapter presidents to help us run events in cities and small towns. We're always looking for people to help us through investing in Smile, so that's through funding or helping us with setting up events, hosting an event, or if they have someone who's interested in participating in an event. So hopefully people will go to our website, which is beautifullives.org, and they can contact me at bryce@beautifullives.org, BRYCE at beautifullives.org. They could also call me or text me with any questions about my life or about what they could do with the Beautiful Lives Project. And my phone number is 812-899-5673.
What's the goal that you want to accomplish with this in the end? Is there an end goal for Beautiful Lives?
To set up as many Beautiful Lives Project chapters across the country and the world to inspire people to create lifelong friendships, to break down stereotypes, and to get rid of barriers that are holding people back, people of all disabilities, from living their dreams and doing things that they've always wanted to achieve in life.
I was going through your Twitter account, which is at Bryce Weiler, Weiler. You had a really nice tweet that I kind of want to hit on here. And your tweet was a little bit longer. It basically said, judging people is only holding this world back. So I'm curious, obviously, hearing what's going on this last few weeks, and really ever since 2020 began, what's it been like to hear the stories, hear the anger, hear the frustration that really has been caused by judging and by injustice that goes on? What's been your thoughts as what happened here basically these last few months since 2020 started?
People should not judge individuals based on their disability, skin color, on various other things, where they go to church, if they don't go to church, because judging someone, you're just not helping anyone out, and you're losing out on possibly making a good friend, and people do not deserve to be judged. I know whenever I was applying for jobs when I finished college, I never told people that I was blind when I'd send in my documents and my cover letter, because you're actually not supposed to do that, because you don't have to tell a potential job that you're blind or deaf or having autism or whatever the case might be. But whenever someone found that out because they typed my name into Google and saw pictures of me commentating or read some articles, I would suddenly disappear off of that job screening process. So it really showed me that judging people is definitely not the way to go, and the world would be such a much better place if no one judged anyone and people just accepted each other for their differences and understood the value that everyone is special and everyone is special and different in their own unique, positive ways.
Accepting people for their differences. That's a great summation, a short way just to say how can we improve in this country? It's just accepting, as you know, there's a lot of division here, whether it's sports, whether it's not sports, politics, it's all one side or the other, and there's really no listening, there's no even thinking or considering what the other side is thinking. So with that, 'cause I'm kind of curious, how have you been able to stay so positive? Because your story is so inspiring, and like you've jumped through so many different hoops of adversity, have to fight so much for basically everything you have so far. How do you stay so positive?
I just always try to find things to do that excite me every day. I've been setting up radio and podcast interviews across the country to use my life to inspire people and to make new friends such as you, Ryan, and hopefully some of your individuals who are listening out there. I've been contacting more people, connecting with people on my LinkedIn account. I'm trying to get to 30,000 people that I am connected with.
Wow.
I'm at 29,200 right now, so I have 800 to go. So I always have lots of projects going on. I'm finding new people to host events and programs in the future, speaking with possible chapter presidents across the country, and really just having a fantastic time 7 days a week.
And Bryce, part of the reason why your story is so incredible and so inspiring is because you're just 20 years old. You co-founded a charity. You work for a Major League Baseball team. You helped implement a major change with the Orioles having their uniforms in Braille, which is just an insane accomplishment because, as you know, that hasn't happened before. So what is next for you? I mean, first of all, you're making all of us look, that are young and looking bad here. I haven't really accomplished anything. I haven't done anything. Here you are starting charities, creating change in major sports leagues. What's next for you? Because you still have so much more to go.
Whatever people want to let me do. Hopefully some of your listeners may want to have me help them hire individuals of all disabilities for their company. It could be a grocery store, whatever company it might be. Hopefully I will be willing to or able to get more sports teams to give me the same opportunity that the Orioles staff has given me. But a lot of that is out of my control. I can email people and call them and tell them this is why it's important to expand your brand, to do these programs to hire individuals of all disabilities, or to do these programs to include individuals of all disabilities at your stadiums or in your company. But people have to want to do that. They have to see the value in that opportunity, and they have to want to give that opportunity a chance. And when I get those chances, I make sure to make them pay off, because I know how many hours, how many days of 14, 16 hours a day I've spent emailing and calling people and trying to convince people. And basically it's the same people over and over and over again, Ryan, who I'm emailing and calling. So it takes a while to change their minds when they don't want to do something, or they don't at first understand the value in whatever I am trying to show to them.
I'm just laughing now, Bryce, because like you said, it is so hard to change people's minds nowadays, that no matter, what the cause is, what you're trying to pitch, for whatever reason, when people have their minds made up, it's so hard to change. And like you said, hopefully that's, now with kind of what's going on, when people are taking a step back, thinking, listening, hopefully just in any aspect, not just, whether it's social injustice or police brutality, but any aspect of life, people can actually start to listen more, to understand the other side. So Bryce, I'm just curious, has there been an underlying reason for whether it's other leagues, whether it's other teams to not get on board? You cited your frustration of constantly reaching out. You're friends with Rob Manfred, you're friends with Adam Silver. Is there, underlying reason or one thought process as to why, so far some leagues or other teams haven't kind of gotten on board?
Sometimes teams will have various reasons, but they will tell me that their court is being used when there's a 2-hour gap, that it could be used where individuals could play on the court, or they're nervous about their baseball field getting messed up when it doesn't take that long to rake a baseball field, which is why they don't want to give individuals of all disabilities the opportunity to play on the field with their players and coaches. The biggest reason is they're scared, and it's different, and they're judging something that they haven't done and something that they never tried. I've had people before who didn't want to do some programs that I've implemented with sports teams, and they really doubted me, and I had to convince them for 2 or 3 years to let me do that. Or even some people did not want to commentate with me because I am a blind radio broadcaster. But finally, they gave me that opportunity, whether it was setting up a specialized program or commentating a basketball game with certain individuals. And I proved that I could do it, and that these events had value, and I got to do more of those things after those points in time.
Are we going to get some baseball in 2020? It could be more than 50 games. Bryce, can you talk to Rob and say, hey, maybe we'll get an 82-game season here? Is there any way you can wring the commissioner's wrist to get some baseball played soon?
I can attempt to talk to him about that, but I'm more trying to get more consulting roles and tell him the great work I'm doing with the Orioles staff. And he's always been really willing to mail me some pretty outstanding auction items for for my charity auctions with my nonprofit, from signed items from Carlton Fisk to Carl Yastrzemski to baseball signed by the All-Star team. So he really comes through great in that aspect. And the same with my friends Adam Silver and Kiki Vandeweghe from the NBA.